What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Jammin with J Money. Y'all know what's up. The three J's back at it, man, on Friday, trying to get some money, man, trying to make it payday. Y'all make sure y'all go over to sbr.com slash video, sbrvideo.com video slash forward slash NBA. Make sure y'all go and check out those picks that we got up there. We got write ups on there, every day parlays, all types of NBA picks on there, man. First quarter bets, halftime bets. So make sure you go to SBR picks. Make sure you go to the NBA picks tab, man. What's up, Junior? Everything good with you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I only had one play in the NBA yesterday, which was terrible. I had the under in that game. I had most of my money on soccer yesterday, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that up. I know it's a basketball show, but that's the man that made me some money yesterday, so I'm good with that. But ready to get to some action today. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday because I cleaned up yesterday in the NBA. I had the first half overs in both those first two early games, which pretty easily cashed. Parlayed those together, so had a nice day there. Hit up some player props on some three-pointers on some guys, and saw that my shop was hanging Trevor Ariza at 8.5 points and like 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists, 1.5 threes yesterday. All the overs on those yesterday. They had basically had him for the same usage on his brand new team with McCollum out, which was just silly. So I definitely hit him up with some money yesterday. So did not miss a play yesterday. Had the Lakers minus 5.5. I mean, I was on fire yesterday. I'm trying to carry that over into today. So hoping that you guys can help me out with that, and ready to get some action. Enough talk. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm ready to get to some money, man. I know yesterday it was real nice. The Mavs, even though they tried to make it a little sweat there at the end, we know that there was pretty much an easy game. First quarter, first half, and full game, all cash for the Mavs pretty easily. And you don't see any defense in these games these days, man. If you had the overs and if you like any types of overs yesterday, you cashed easy. All three games pretty much flew over a total. I knew that Wizards and Cavs game was gonna go over. The Wiz on the back-to-back, they still beat the Cavs there. Cavs are just hopeless, man. They got a 12-point lead there real quick, and then they still end up losing the first quarter. The Wizards absolutely smack them, man. 124 to 112. Bill obviously did whatever he wanted to in that game, man. So all three overs yesterday, man. We know the Lakers, they did exactly whatever they wanted to versus the Nets, man. That was a pretty easy win there. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie, boy, Anthony Davis told him, hey, look, boy, I'm gonna smack your shit to the stands one time, Francine. And boy, man, Kyrie, you got to get that shit shaped up or something, bro. You make too much money for that, man. I mean, I understand you having a beard and all this. Come on, bro. You got to be a little bit more clean cut. You like a homeless man out here, Francine. But hey, you know what I'm saying? They scored some points yesterday. They just couldn't stop LA out there. They just couldn't stop them. And like I say, the Mavs just absolutely they toasted the Blazers. Even though it was an 8-point game, that game wasn't close, man. They, you know what I'm saying? The fourth quarter, they was just playing around with them boys. It was a pretty easy casher there yesterday. So let's try to keep the momentum going into today, man. We got some nice spots out here. You know what I'm saying? We got a full slate out here. I know we got a game over here in Paris. This was a game I was looking at first. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Charlotte at the house. Woo, woo. I'm like, oh, no, hell no. It's a different time. You know what I'm saying? It's over there in Paris. It's a neutral site game, as you call it. So we'll be interested to see what's going to happen in this game. If we know the Bucks are one of the best teams they on a 7-game winning streak. You got the Hornets here, absolutely hopeless. They on a 7-game losing streak. So we know that the Bucks, they favor about 13.5, 14 points here. The odds makers are obviously expecting it to be an absolute blowout here. We know sometimes though in these little neutral site games, is some teams can be distracted. It brings other teams together. So I know that the coach for the Hornets actually saying that he thinks it's going to be good for his guys to get out on the road. You know what I'm saying? Try to bond or whatever. So be interesting to see. I know the last time these two teams played, they smacked the Hornets by 41 points. So I'm sure they're gonna remember that. They could get smacked by 40 here once again. What you thinking, Jordan? You think the Bucks gonna smash them again, or the Hornets can keep this one close?
I'm kind of interested in the Hornets here, to be honest. I'll probably end up laying off, but the neutral site kind of throws things off a little bit. You know, the home crowd is going to be with the Hornets with Nick Batum playing on there. I mean, he's going to get a louder pop than anybody tonight, or I guess this afternoon for us, but tonight for them. So it's kind of de facto home game for the Charlotte Hornets, even though they're in another country. So I mean, I always talk about the Hornets. Like if they're hitting shots, they're going to keep a game close. But against this Bucks team, it's really hard to tell what the time change and them being overseas for the last 3 or 4 days is going to be. How it's going to affect these two teams. But I mean, they've had tons of rest. I mean, it's a neutral site game. You're telling me the Bucks are still 14 points better than the Hornets? I can believe that, but don't be surprised if Charlotte keeps this close at least earlier in the ball game here. So I think for that matter, I'll probably lay off. Just enjoy it. Maybe get a little live bet in there if Charlotte jumps out to an early lead. Maybe get a little bit of better line on Milwaukee or something like that. But I think other than that, I think I'll probably lay off the pregame markets.
Exactly. And like you say, it could be a little sleepy game. I mean, shit, the Bucks, they could be looking like they're on vacation here. I mean, would they overlook the Hornets here? One thing I can't tell you, they were off for 3 days, and then they're going to be off for 3 days after this game as well. So, I mean, my whole thing is if the Bucks really care about this game, obviously they're a much better team, and they can come in here and coast and still win this game by 15 points. But like I say, it'll be interesting to see if the Hornets, I mean, last time they got handed a pretty tough loss there by 41 points. I know they lost the last game versus the Magic at the house, but that was a little tough spot coming first game back off the road trip. Me personally, if I had to play it, I'd be looking towards taking the points here. I think a lot of people going to think it's going to be easy here with the Bucks, and they could, but as Junior, me and Junior know sometimes the Bucks, they can let a team stay in it. You know what I'm saying? They can be up by 20, and then that fourth quarter, they don't really care. They let them, you know what I'm saying? It could be a backdoor cover, prime. We know that, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a huge public side. This is a neutral site game. The Hornets, last time they lost by 41 points in this game, lost 7 straight games. You know they're gonna be motivated here. I kind of say from the start here. I mean, like Jordan said, I mean, you got Batum here with the home court advantage. You got a lot of young guys over there. Rozier and Graham are hitting their threes. Hey, we could see a close game here. They don't have any shot of winning, but I do think that they can keep it within these points, man. What you thinking, Junior?
Yeah, I would say I stayed away from the full game. I have the first quarter, first half. I took the Bucks. I just wanted to touch on something Jordan said, and it's not that I disagree with Jordan because I think Batum would have some fans, but I honestly believe the people there are there to see Giannis. I mean, you're talking about Nick Batum as a guy who comes off the bench for one of the worst teams in the NBA. Even for the French national team, he doesn't have the impact that he used to. I just think that Paris is a metropolis. It's a city similar to the size of New York, and they're going to be there to see the star, and there's only one star on the floor in this game, and that's Giannis. And Giannis just happens to be European himself. So I just think the people will be out there to see Giannis. I think Giannis is going to want to put on a show in Europe. But I do agree with something that you just said, that all it takes is for Charlotte to get hot, even just in the fourth quarter. They don't even got to be hot the whole game. All they got to do is be hot in the fourth quarter to backdoor cover such a big spread on a neutral court. I just think that the Bucks come out and do what they usually do, which is beat teams down in the beginning of the game and coast to victory for the rest of the way. Their last 5 road games, they're winning by an average of 18.5 points a game. I just think that they come out, take care of business early, and then chill in the second half, which leans me to believe that you should probably take the points if you want to touch the full game. But I like the first half here.
Exactly. My guy Junior there, I already knew he was going to be on the Bucks the first half as well. If you like the Bucks there, hey, take him in the first half, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? As much, if they're going to come out focused in the first half, you leave yourself, no, you know what I'm saying, not open for the backdoor cover, none of that, man. So be interesting to see. But the Bucks the first half should be decided. There's my guy Junior there telling you, hey, like the Bucks in the first half. Let's get to the next game. We got the Grizzlies versus the Pistons here, man. The Pistons even smacked the Kings up. That was the Kings. He smacked them was up by 20 without Drummond. He probably is coming back here. Had a little, you know what I'm saying, a little something going on with his lip, man. I ain't saying, hey, ain't no telling what he been doing, but nah, it ain't no telling, man. He had a little lip laceration. Browne gonna be in this spot. Tim Frazier gonna be in here. They got Reggie Jackson the last game. The Pistons seem to be rolling here. The Grizzlies have lost 2 straight games. What you doing with this one, Jordan? You think the Grizzlies can bounce back in this spot, or you think the Pistons are bet on right now? They didn't covered and won the past 3 or 4 games. What you thinking in this game? You like the Grizzlies here?
No, I think if there's a side to this one, I think you're exactly right. I think it's the Pistons or nothing here. The Grizzlies are a lot harder to trust on the road than they are at home, especially against a team like Detroit that seems to be getting healthier. I'm actually going to go a different direction with this, and this is the only play I've locked in so far this morning. And I have the first half over at 111.5, simply for the reason that Detroit all year has the 28th ranked home first half defense, but their offense in the first half actually ranks 5th best in the league. They're averaging 115.6 points per 100 possessions in the first half of their home games. It's over a stretch of 22 games. You add in the fact that the Grizzlies' road defense, while it has been pretty good this year actually in the first half, I'll give them that. It's the full game road defense that really has given them trouble. But against this Pistons team that has a lot of matchup issues for them, a lot of problems, just generally getting hotter, as you said. I think there's going to be a ton of points in this game, especially if Detroit plays up in pace to Memphis' style, which they've actually been doing a little bit more of recently. Look at their last 5 games. They're playing at a pace of almost 101 possessions per 48 minutes in the first half of their games. So if they're starting to speed things up a little bit and run a little bit more, I think that could really lead to a really high-scoring first half here between these two teams. So it's the only one I got locked in so far. It's my first official over 111.5 first half.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm actually not leaning towards the Pistons. You didn't hear me say I'm leaning the Pistons here. I'm actually leaning towards the Grizzlies to get back right here. I know that they are coming off 2 straight losses. Jammin only had 2 points the last year. I know Boston just absolutely locked down against them. And I mean, the Pistons aren't a bad defensive team either, but I think they were really going up against. I mean, they went up against the Pelicans, who were playing good. They're a better offensive team than the Grizzlies. Then they went up against the Celtics, who are better offensively and defensively. I think this game against the Pistons, in my opinion, I think it's kind of even. I think it's a toss-up. You can go 50-50. And with that, I think that the Grizzlies are better than the Pistons, especially right now. I mean, I know they got Jackson back, even though Drummond's coming back as well. And the line was at 2 last night, and then to see it dip down to 1.5, now -1. Maybe even at some shops, I'm seeing I saw some go to Grizzlies -1. It's down to a pick at some shops now, but I see their bookmaker got the Grizzlies at -1. So I mean, I think you're gonna see some money come in on them. They hear pretty much them near full squad other than Caboclo. So I think that the Grizzlies match up well with the Pistons here. And honestly, I'll be looking to back the road team here. I don't think that the Pistons are bad, even though they didn't win the past 3 of their 4 games. That game versus the Kings, they didn't surprise me. I mean, that game versus the Celtics was nice, but the Celtics were missing a couple players in that game. You beat the Hawks, and then you lost to the Wizards over. I mean, I thought that was a winnable game for them over there in Washington. You lose that game, so if you could lose that game to the Wizards, I know they at the house here, but I think the Grizzlies gonna be pissed off here, and I think that Jammin this is a little bounce back game for him as well after only having 2 points. I'll be looking towards the road team here. What you got for me, Junior?
Yeah, I don't got to look on this game, but I got to say this because this is the first time in my life since I've been watching sports that I've ever looked at an injury report in any sport and someone's out because of their damn lip. What could be wrong with your lip that you can't play ball, bro? I mean, what was he in Flint drinking tap water? Like, what's wrong with his lip? I don't get it. Bro, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Get this game out of here. Next game.
Called being on the trade block. That's what it is. Exactly.
Exactly.
There's no legitimate lip injury that can keep you from playing basketball unless you have stitches of some kind. Like, I feel like that it's just they're shopping him. Like, what other explanation is there? You know?
That pisses me off, bro.
Yeah, if you was a true baller, you don't. I mean, this new age NBA, and it's crazy because I was just telling somebody on the day that I wish that I was. I think it was just yesterday. I wish that I was like around this age, but in like the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Baseball was just a lot different then, man. Now you see this game, you don't see no defense being played. I mean, what teams yesterday had 100 points, man. The Lakers had 101 points, man, at the end of 3 quarters. You used to never see shit like this, man. But it's a new age. I guess I am a kind of defensive guy. I like when it get to the playoffs, and you know what I'm saying. Every game matters. Everybody, they defensive intensity is high then. Regular season, nobody even cares. But it used to be, even in regular season, defense intensity was high. But yeah, in this game, it's Grizzlies or nothing for me. Honestly, I'm not looking for the Pistons here. I think they look good against bad teams, but I think the Grizzlies can get right here versus this Pistons team if they bring their A game. So I mean, you have 2 losses, we should see their A game tonight. Let's get to this next game, man. We got the Celtics versus the Magic here. I know that Tatum is out for sure. I know that Cantor out. He's not really. I ain't gonna say a huge deal, but the Magic, sometimes they can struggle to score even at the house. I know Fultz had a little finger. He went out with the finger last game and ended up coming back. They still without Isaac and Augustine. In my opinion, you miss Augustine, even though they got Michael Carter Williams. They still need Augustine out there, man. But Tatum's out, Cantor out. Jaylen Brown's gonna be a game time decision. It's gonna be real interesting to see if Browne play, man. Hey, if Browne not in here, I definitely got to look towards the Magic, man. I'm sorry. I mean, they off that home loss, and you could argue it was a little vulnerable spot for them. That was off 6-game road trip, first game back at the house. They still damn near came back and won that game versus OKC, who was a tough team to play. We know they're 8-0 the last 8 on the road, or 8-0 ATS. So it'd be interesting to see if the Celtics here can get it done on the road. We saw them smash Memphis there. They could do that, you know what I'm saying, without a problem here. You got any look on this game, Junior? You think that the Magic could be the side here? They favor here minus a 1.5, or are you taking a dog with the Celtics?
I would take the dog with the Celtics, but I gotta see. I gotta watch the first quarter. This is definitely a live play for me. There's just so many question marks. All these guys, like half the Celtics starting lineup is questionable. I hate to see that. I mean, I shouldn't say half the starting lineup, but I mean Browne and Tatum. You might as well be talking about half the starting lineup because Tice is more of a role player than anything else. So I just need to know at least one of them two is going to be in before I can lay money with. I'm sorry, even take the points with the Celtics here because Orlando is a really hard team to cap in the last couple of weeks because they'll drop a couple, win a couple, drop a couple. They don't really have any consistency. But again, their defense is the one thing that you can usually count on. So I hesitate to take the points with Boston until I know they got some offensive firepower in the lineup.
Exactly. And like I say, we know that Tatum is out for sure. My thing is, man,
oh, sorry,
Browne
I didn't hear you say that.
Look at Orlando. They've beaten the Celtics the last 3 times that they faced them. I mean, between last year they beat them 3 straight times. So you can look at it could be triple revenge for the Celtics, or you could look at it like the Magic just match up really well with the Celtics. Obviously, those are the games they had Augustine and Isaac, but I can't say maybe you can see that's why they're favored here. The last 3 games, I mean, they look like they can hang with the Celtics, let alone cover the spread. They've beat them 3 straight times. So I mean, but what you got to say about that, Jordan? You think that you still like the Celtics here, even though the Magic have beaten the past 3 meetings?
No, it's so tough without Tatum. I think right now their best player on both ends of the court. If you look at like overall offensive and defensive, what he brings to the court. I mean, and that's so tough, especially now. You might be without Browne too. I mean, against a team that can really lock you down on defense, it's going to be much bigger than you in the front court. Now they're starting Gordon, Kim Birch, and Vucevic. I mean, without Tatum, you're talking about a ton of mismatch problems for the Celtics in this game, especially if Browne misses too. Like Magic are going to be getting every rebound. Like there's so many things going against the Celtics here that are almost convincing me to lay the point and a half of the Magic here, especially if we get the news that Browne's out, because that line's going to go up to 2.5 if he gets ruled out. So yeah, I mean, I wrote this game up though for the website before I knew Tatum was out, and I kind of said if Browne and Tatum are out, I'm going to lay off this pick. So far, Tatum's out, but I think I'm still going to roll with it here, and I'm on the first half over this one too at 103. It's up to 103.5 now, so I feel pretty good about that. I know this game is going to get muddy here if Browne's out, and I think I'll probably lay off of it if he misses. But if he plays, I think the Celtics are at least going to have enough offense to hang in this one. And the Magic have been playing a little bit faster here lately, and their defense has not been the Celtics are playing a little bit faster lately, and their defense has not been good. They're giving up 58 points per first half in their last 5 and scoring 59 during that stretch. I know a lot of that was at home, and now this is on the road, and they're missing a couple guys, so that's why I'm a little weary about it. But if Browne's in, I think I'm gonna take the over here in the first half, just because I think the defense won't get as settled in, and the Magic could actually have a little bit easier time scoring against the Celtics defense, which has obviously been really good, but might not look that great tonight, especially if they're missing 2 starters and a role player in Cantor.
Exactly. Yeah, the Celtics 1-4 ATS last 5 meetings, and the under is 4-1 as well as the last 5 meetings. I'll be leaning towards the under, and I'm leaning towards the Magic here. Definitely need to see if Browne is going to be in there. Obviously, he's a player that's going to move the spread. If he's in there, you might see this close Celtics -1, Celtics -2. If not, you can see this going up to Magic. I can see it going. If him being announced there, I can see it going up to Magic -3.5, maybe even touch the 4. To be honest with you, let's get to the next game. Got to go a little bit faster here. Raptors versus the Knicks. It's went up to 8 already. Oh, I know I was looking at 7.5 last night. It's went up to 8. I don't see any reason why. I mean, the Knicks they played their A game last game versus the Lakers. Obviously, they were going to give that one all they had. This particular game versus the Raptors, I don't see the Raptors. They don't have any look ahead spot, anything like that. I see them being able to smash the Knicks here with no problem. They've won 5 straight games, covered 4 of the last 5. You don't like the way they looked in that first half versus Philly, but they still in the fourth quarter. I'm saying? Van Fleet still end up getting it done. They got everybody back. They can lean on Powell, Van Fleet, Lowry, Siakam, pretty much whoever. So they got too many weapons, in my opinion, tonight for the Knicks. The Knicks, they had something to get up against for the Lakers. We'll catch them in a vulnerable spot. Lakers just didn't care about the game. If the Raptors come in here with, even just with their B game, they should come in here and smack the Raptors, as long as they don't just look past them or anything. You are laying 8 on the road, but the Raptors should be able to get it here, get it done. What you got for me, Junior?
Yeah, I got the Raptors full game for basically every single thing you just said. The Raptors are not a team that overlook their opponents. They don't have any look-ahead spots anyway to begin with. Their record against their own division is 6-3 in 9 games, and they just do really well. They don't lose to the bad teams in their division. I had brought up a stat earlier in the season that, like, at home, I know this is a road game, but at home, they'd gone like 30-something games without losing to teams in the Atlantic. So when it comes to these situations where they have a division opponent, the Raptors usually tend to play their best. Their defense, like I mentioned last show, has crept all the way up to second in the league. If you look at the Knicks' last 5 games, they've scored under 100 points in 4 out of the 5 games. I can definitely see a scenario here where the Knicks score under 100 points. I think the Raptors are good for 110 or better, so I took the Raptors. I'm taking the points. I'm laying the points with the Raptors here, -7.5 on the road against a very much inferior opponent in the New York Knicks.
Yeah, what you got for me real quick on this game, Jordan, before we get to the next one?
Yeah, I'm glad Junior likes this because I'm on the first half of this one of the Raptors at -4 too for just some of the similar reasons. Like, there's no way the Knicks are going to be able to score in this game against a fully healthy Raptors squad. The Knicks are averaging only 100, basically just over 100 points per 100 possessions in the first half of their road games, ranks 29th in the league. Their last 5 games that dipped down to 94. Like you guys said, the Raptors don't take teams lightly. They're going to come in and clamp down immediately and try to just grind this game to a halt and grind down the Knicks offense as much as possible. Would not be surprised to see them fall under 100 points and under 50 in the first half. So yeah, I like the Raptors first half. Might even jump on with Junior here for the full game. I'm really interested also maybe in the Knicks team total on the under too. I haven't checked what it is yet, but I'm assuming it's around 105, 106. So if that's the case, might be a good underplay as well on that one.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd be surprised if the Raptors didn't win this game by 10 plus points. To be honest with you, I don't see that the Knicks having enough offense, to be honest with you, to hang around with them. So I can't see the Raptors taking them lightly. If not, they should smack them by at least 10 to 15 tonight, man. Let's get to the next game. We got Clippers versus the Heat here, man. The Clippers coming off their terrible loss. I'm talking about terrible loss versus the Hawks. I don't care who you have out in that game. You let the Hawks come all the way back without Trae Young and win that game by 7. In the fourth quarter, you had that game in hand, and it's like they just ran out of gas in that game, man. Jeff Teague ran them boys ragged. They on a nice little road trip here. This is what, the 4th game of their 6-game road trip. So we know, it's no real look ahead or anything. They just got the Magic Knicks. We know the Clippers gonna be focusing on this one. Kawhi is gonna be back in there. No Paul George. Beverly's not gonna play. I can't say, man, if the Clippers had Beverly in this spot plus Kawhi, I'd be looking towards the Clippers. That Beverly, they need him in a game like this, man. They need a pesky defender, veteran defender on those guards. But hey, some of those guards might not be out there. You look at the injury report, pretty sure Jimmy gonna play. He's not missing this game. The Kendrick Nunn, we know that rookies at some point can hit somewhat of a rookie wall, especially when they're starting and they're overachieving, like a Kendrick Nunn. He's questionable in his game. Achilles, in my opinion, Achilles, that's not, you don't want to mess with shit like that. You saw Powell just go down. If it's sore, injured, you might want to rest a couple of games. He's could be out. Same thing. Dragic, that calf, Achilles, ankle, all that type shit is in the same area, man. All of it goes together. Dragic, he's questionable. He's older player. Don't know if he's gonna play. If Dragic's not in, that's gonna be a huge deal for the Heat. Even though they're at the house, if Nunn's not in, it's gonna be a huge deal. Butler's gonna play. I don't see him sitting out, even though he's questionable with a knee injury. And the spread is gonna move whichever one of these injuries are ruled in or out. You know who's playing for the Clippers. They offer a loss. If some of these players are out for the Heat, man, you definitely got to look towards the Clippers in this spot. It's definitely something you got to keep in mind, keep mindful here on this day. You know what I'm saying? What you got for me, Junior, in this game?
Yeah, I would say Clippers are nothing. There's too many question marks for Miami in this spot, especially if their point guards are out. Like, it's one thing if one of your point guards are out, and I think that you hit it right on the head. Dragic is much more important than Kendrick Nunn. I know Kendrick Nunn's been the starter, but if you actually watch Miami play, first of all, me personally, I'm not a huge Kendrick Nunn fan in the sense that he's a point guard in name only. Kendrick Nunn is out there to shoot the ball. He's not looking to set people up. So I would say that if they're going to go into this situation with no point guards against a Clippers team that can clamp down on defense, I would lean Clippers, but I'm off of this game completely for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I said the other day when Miami played the Clippers, when they played the Wizards, if they didn't come through for me on my trifecta, I would be off Miami. I'm sticking to that because their consistency is completely gone, in my opinion. The only real lean or advantage I used to see with them was first quarter, first half at home, and they're not even getting that done anymore. And as for the Clippers, for what I saw against the Hawks, that worries me a lot. I don't care who's on your roster. Whoever was on your roster that night is better than whoever the Hawks got on their roster, and you got to get wins against these bottom feeder teams. So I'm not impressed with either one of these teams right now, and I just kind of want to see who comes out on top in this specific matchup before I invest money on either side again.
What you got? You have anything on this game, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, if you would have asked me, this would have been my favorite game to watch for the entire night. And now 2 weeks, now we're here, and it's probably one I'm not even going to touch just because of all the things you guys mentioned, just not to say the same things twice here. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just so hard to trust either of these two teams right now with all the injuries for Miami. Way too many question marks. All three of their top guards are questionable tonight. Yeah, no way I'm touching them. That's for sure. So it's really just depends on what the injuries look like. But I'll probably end up laying off the pregame markets in this one again.
Exactly. And you look at it, between these two meetings, and we got a total of 221 out here. I'll really be interested to see if Dragic is out in this spot, man. The under his win 9-0 on the last 9 games in between these two teams in the last 9 meetings. You know what I'm saying? 9-1 last 10, 9-0 last 9 to the under. We got a total of 221 here. We know the Clippers can play some defense. When Lou Will and Harrell come out the bench, they play a little faster, but they are still at heart a great defensive team. We know they're gonna come out pissed. The Heat, they can, you know what I'm saying, make it a stagnant type game as well, man. The under is 5-1 last 6 road games for the Clippers. Might be looking towards the under here, especially if Nunn and Dragic is going to be missing some scoring for the Heat. It's definitely something that I'm going to be looking towards. Got to get to the next game, man. I don't really have a lot on the Sacramento versus Chicago game. I mean, the Kings, they didn't lost 7 straight, 7-8 straight. I mean, the boys on a losing streak. I'm not looking to bet on. They still don't have. They had Bagley here be something different. The Bulls have actually been winning without. They've been playing well without Carter Jr. and Gafford, but they hadn't put together back-to-back wins. In the last 10 games, it's been win-loss, win-loss. I mean, they just hadn't seen them put together back-to-back games like this. So it's tough to say, but I'm leaning towards the Kings. I'm not betting the game though. I'm far from betting it. The Rockets versus Timberwolves, you got the same thing here. The Rockets, I'm not sure if they're back here. They land 5.5 here. They are on the road. They're facing the Timberwolves team that's lost 7 straight games. They're not bet on team right now. They did show a little bit of fight coming back down from 20 in the last game. It was on the road. Here they are a home dog here. I can't, man, it's tough because I'm not looking to bet on the Timberwolves either. I'm staying away from it. In theory, I mean, they should beat the fucking Rockets here. I think that the Timberwolves should. This Rockets team is not back just because of that. The Denver team, they smacked that's the second time they smacked the Nuggets, blew them out this year. So I don't think it was just all the way get right spot for the Rockets. They still pretenders. Now they land points on the road against a desperate team. You can call them. I mean, they still sorry and they lost 7 straight, but they're still desperate in their home crowd. They're getting 5.5, 6 points. It's crazy to say. Anything on those couple of games, Jordan? Or did you have another look on this card that are better than those 2 games?
No, definitely laying off Sacramento and Chicago. That's easily the worst game of the night. But I do think I'm crazy enough to take points with the Wolves tonight in the first half of the full game here. Just for something you just said, I want to reiterate, the Rockets are definitely not back. A win against Denver, missing basically 4 starters if you count Michael Porter Jr., who could start on more than half the teams in this league right now, if not more than that. Denver down 4 starters and you're beating them at home by 16 points. Okay, good job. You still lost 5 of your last 6 in front of that to some winnable games at that during that stretch. Now you're on the road, starting a 4-game road stretch against a very 4 pretty tough opponents. None of these games are going to be easy. And I really feel like they're being overvalued here just because they beat up on a Denver team that was missing half their roster. Like, I mean, I don't trust the Rockets as far as I can throw them. Their defense on the road has been absolutely atrocious this year. There's absolutely no reason to believe that's going to get better tonight. And like you said, the Wolves, I think the Wolves are still trying to win. Like, I mean, they obviously brought Cat back. Their president of basketball ops basically just came out and said, like, we're not trading him. He's a franchise player. Like, you got to think that they've maybe turned a little bit of a corner and decided they're going to play this season out regardless of what happens and try to rebuild next year. But I mean, at this point, I think they're not 5.5, 6 points worse than Houston, especially at home. There's no way. I'm taking the points. I might do a little money line sprinkle at 2-1, and I think the first half is actually even better than that. I think they could definitely cover and be ahead at the first half. That's the line I think I'm going to attack more than the full game. But still, I like them both. I haven't jumped on them yet, but I think that's my next best play other than my first half overs so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you crazy for that. The Wolves, they just pissed me off the last game. But this is the game they're at the house and they're catching points. And it's against this fucking sorry ass Rockets team that we cannot trust. And it is a revenge game. The Rockets did just smack them 139-109 by 30 points. So you could argue it's a revenge spot. You could argue that the Rockets just match up well versus the Wolves. I probably won't touch it. The if I was forced to make it, it would be the Wolves though. And if I was forced to play that Kings game, I would look towards the under. I think that's too many points. 219, 218.5. And Drummond just got downgraded to questionable. So he's probably not gonna play tonight versus the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies are not the Kings. They're going to smack the Pistons' ass if Drummond don't play. Just real quick. And anything about those two games, Junior, real quick. We got 4 more games left. We're going to try to get to them.
No, nothing. I won't even waste anyone's time. I cannot lay points. I can't lay that many points with the Rockets on the road against a Minnesota team that, if anything, if you want to say the one thing that they've done, even during this losing streak, they've been playing pretty solid defense. Their defense is still 5th in the NBA. In the month of January, if I'm not mistaken. So I can't lay those points with the Rockets on the road. I don't believe in the Rockets still for obvious reasons.
I hope the Rockets get their ass blown out here. That's what I hope. But let's get to the next game, man. We got the Nuggets versus the Pelicans here. The Pelicans -4 is going to be a huge public side once again. Zion he balled out, had 22 points there in 18 minutes. Came out there, went 4 for 4 from 3. I was a bit surprised. Like he barely even jumped when he's shooting a 3-pointer. But hey, they went in. That's the only thing that matters. I mean, he's shooting a spark. You know what I'm saying? They have a spark right now that the Pelicans do. I know that first quarter they could come out here hot in this game. Be interesting to see if the Nuggets will be pissed here. They lost to the Pelicans. One thing you do have to know, they lost to the Pelicans on Christmas Day. I think they were favored by double digits in that game. They lost by 12 points at the house, and they still had all their players. It'll be interesting to see if Gary Harris is on track to play from what I can see. And then you need to see if Michael Porter Jr. is going to play in this game. I do think there's 2 key pieces. They're coming off a bad loss to the Rockets. It is a revenge game. So before I hop on the Pelicans, I still have to remember that the Nuggets are going to be pissed here. They're a very deep squad. If they bring their defense, then it could be, you know what I'm saying, be a long night for the Pelicans here tonight. I know that they got Zion. I know they're hyped up right now. They got a lot of energy, you know what I'm saying, a little injection shot into them, but just go back and look at the game, and they're going to be pissed, and they're all for loss as well. So if Harrison, Michael Porter Jr. plays, I can't say I'm leaning towards the Nuggets here getting some revenge, even though they got Zion Wilson, all that hype, but I think that that's a little bit of a distraction in my opinion. Any quick thoughts on that, Junior? And we're going to try to do 2 games back-to-back as well, because I'm liking the Hawks as well, getting the points. I put it out on Twitter. This was sitting at 11.5. I knew Trae Young was going to play. He practiced yesterday. He's happy about getting being a starter for the All-Star game. They come in here playing OKC. OKC is a little bit better. It's crazy to say on the road than they are at the house. They done lost what they passed to before the last game versus the Blazers, who they should have smacked like that. They lost the past 2 home games before that. I think the Hawks can keep it within 10. If you get to 10, I still like the Hawks. I'm finna go hop on this well. Plus the Hawks plus the 10, man. I know OKC been smashing, but I think they'll win this game maybe by 6-7 points. They can win. Just don't smash the Hawks up. Trae Young back in there. They got T. I think the Hawks plus the points is the right side. And what you got on the Denver game, Junior?
I ain't got none on the Denver game. I'm going to say something right now. If you start getting in the business of laying, more than one possession with a team that's way below 500, you're playing a really dangerous game there. I know 4.5 points doesn't seem like a lot, or 4 points, whatever it is. I see a couple 4.5s on the board, but Denver's still a pretty deep team with a lot of pride, and they play defense. This line is probably based on the Christmas Day matchup, and obviously the injuries that Denver has. But I wouldn't blindly lay points in New Orleans on the road. And as for Oklahoma City, I actually think that the first half, first quarter, taking points when Atlanta could be a look that people haven't thought about, because I came pretty close to pulling the trigger on Oklahoma City first quarter, first half for this game until I saw that Oklahoma City is 6-1 on the road in January and 2-3 at home. And at home, they have by far, like if you guys want to go look this up, their defensive rating in the first quarter and first half is by far the worst in the NBA in the month of January, even though they have a winning record. So early on in games, for whatever reason, Oklahoma City has not been getting the job done at home. So taking the points with Atlanta could be worth a look. You can get them first quarter 3.5, and I believe first half 5.5, 6.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, my opinion, shit, I think the Hawks are the look. What you got on this game, real quick, Junior? Anything quick on the Pelicans and Nuggets game, and do you have anything on the Hawks versus OKC? You think OKC gonna smack them up by the Dubski by 20?
Oh, no, absolutely not. I agree with you guys. I think that if there's a side, it's probably the Hawks somewhere in there. I'm interested. I might look into after the show the first quarter, first half, and the Hawks. That does actually sound like a pretty good play because I've seen some similar. The OKC defense, we talked about it before, has just been falling apart lately. So I don't have any official looks on that game, but that would be where I'd lean on that one. And I think you guys are right to be hesitant of New Orleans laying the 4 points. I think that's going to be a huge public side tonight, just like it was the other night, and it lost. And I could see it happening again, especially at Porter Jr. That's the injury that I'm going to be really interested to see in this Denver New Orleans game, because it looks like Jay said, Harris is going to play after missing the last couple of games. If Porter Jr. is back in there and they were just being cautious with him after his back tightened up, I might actually take the points with Denver tonight and go full on fade in New Orleans, because I think the hype they're still going to put Zion on a minutes limit. Any lead they build up with Zion in the game is going to be lost in the last 6-8 minutes of the fourth quarter when he has to sit down, because he still can't play probably more than 20 minutes. So I mean, Denver could easily come back and cover this game and win it outright if they have some of their guys back here. So I'll be real interested to see if that's the case, but nothing official on either game yet.
Exactly. Yeah, like my guy says, AJS say hit the like and the link for you. Appreciate it, man. Y'all hit the link. It should be in the description below, man. It's gonna take you right to the NBA picks tab. But if not, go to SBR.com video / NBA, and y'all get the picks, man. Or just go to SBR.com and go to the picks tab, the NBA picks tab, and it's the same link. Y'all go to it. Y'all hit the like button on here, man. We got 591 watching. We appreciate y'all. It's Friday. Y'all trying to get some money. I am too, man. Yeah, Porter Jr. and Harris. And to be honest, I think both of them going to play. I think both of them. Porter Jr. is a real young player, man. It's back. Yeah, he probably going to get massaged up real quick. A little, you know what I'm saying? A little, hey, I ain't going to say nothing. I ain't going to say what else, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Probably fix them up real nice. Get them back in there. Revenge game J today, man. They getting points. And you got the Zion hype. I think the Nuggets, man, if they gonna get Harris back, that's a big part for them. And I like Atlanta. Plus, my book give me the 10, man. Hey, I'm taking double digits, but I see OKC winning by 9 at the absolute worst, and I think that's gonna be a tough task. The Hawks looking like a little rebuild. They got everybody back. They got Hunter, Collins. You know what I'm saying? Boys got Teague off the bench. Bembry gonna be out tonight, but Adams still questionable. And now if Adams is in for OKC, if he comes in ruled in, then it's probably go back up to 11.5. But I don't think so. Even with Adams in, he ain't 100%. He trade bait. Just gonna sit him out. Just go ahead, do one more game, bro, so I can hit the Hawks one time. We got 2 more games. We got the Suns versus the Spurs. Spurs had already beat them twice already. I know they beat them in Mexico City. And then they beat them in Phoenix not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? I know the Suns was 4-point favorites in that game. Then you see an 8.5 point swing. The Spurs seem to be hot right now, man. The Suns just can't seem to beat them. If I'm not mistaken, Baines is out once again. I probably won't have a play on it, but the Spurs, they seem to be owning the Suns here late. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is double revenge for the Suns, but the Spurs, they coming out their win versus the Pelicans. I think they're gonna keep it going, man. And the Pacers versus Golden State. I'm gonna ask you about this one, Jordan, and then let you finish off your plays today. I was looking towards the Pacers in this one. They're not going to have Brogdon here. The Warriors are absolute fade right now. I can't say that. I'll be only looking towards the Pacers here. I probably won't get there. I really like them when they got Brogdon. I mean, they on a nice little road trip, come out blowout win. I don't really like laying at 6 without them, but they should be able to get it done here. I can't see the Warriors being competitive in that game. Anything on the last 2 games, Jordan, and recap them with your plays, my guy?
Got nothing on Phoenix and San Antonio. Was looking at that one earlier, but couldn't really find anything that that I liked. The Indiana game, I think I'm either going to watch that line and hope that it continues to tick down and money gets taken on Golden State until I can see a little bit more favorable line for the Pacers and lay that, maybe get it down to 5 or so, or just take it in game. Because even without Brogdon, like against good teams, I'd be worried about them missing Brogdon here. But against the Warriors, it doesn't concern me as much because I think Holiday and McConnell are going to be adequate fill-ins for him against bad teams like this, even on the road. The Pacers are just a lot bigger, a lot deeper than Golden State, even with their point guard out. They're going to bully them inside. They're gonna get to the paint. I don't think Golden State's going to have much of an ability to stop them. So I may just live in play it and see if I can get a little bit better line on the Pacers, maybe closer to 1 possession, and then lay those points. But nothing official on the pregame markets on those. So far, the only place I got locked in right now is Memphis Detroit over 111.5 in the first half. I'm probably going to end up on the Raptors though, first half and full game, and I think I'm going to end up on the Wolves first half and full game. Those are the ones I think I'm leaning towards more heavily tonight.
And just one thing real quick, Jordan, I gotta ask you, bro. Give me if Drummond is out, will you like the Grizzlies? Will you hop on the Grizzlies with me if Drummond is out?
Now we got that news. Yeah, I'm going to take another look at Memphis here. I agree with you. Now I think that swings it. I was assuming he was going to be in. He was probable. That's a huge. I mean that's a 3-4 point swing potentially if he's out on both ends of the court. Yeah. So now I'm 100% flip flopping on this one. If Drummond's out, yeah, you got to go Memphis or nothing in this one.
And I wouldn't even ask you to flip-flop on it. I just know that you've been on the Grizzlies a whole lot more than I am. You know what I'm saying? I want you to give me more confidence on, because really, I hadn't been betting on the Grizzlies not a whole ton. I think this is a spot for them. So I wanted to hear it from you, because I know you know what I'm saying, you were in touch with the Grizzlies and the Pacers, really. So what's up, Junior? Yeah. Anything on the last 2 games, and recap your plays for me before we get out of here?
No, I got nothing on the last 2 games. I would lean San Antonio. They just look like a much better team. I can't take points with Phoenix even on the road. At least if I was going to take points, it would have to be a lot more than 1.5. So my official plays, I've got Bucks first quarter, -4.5 first half, -8. I think they go out in Paris and put on a show and then coast the victory in the second half. And I got the Raptors -7.5 full game.
I like it. Yeah, I'm sitting there waiting, man. Drummond questionable. Even if he played, though, I think Grizzlies gonna give him a game, man. The Magic have owned the Celtics of late. No Tatum is already out. Be interesting to see if Brown's gonna be out as well. They don't have Cantor. Probably gonna see some Taco Fall, a lanky ass in there, but we'll see, man. The Magic, it's a bounce back spot for them, in my opinion. Be real surprised if the Raptors don't win this game by double digits. I'd be very surprised, man. I would. It's gonna be a couple of huge injuries gonna come out in the Heat, whether Nunn and obviously Butler is probably going to play. Nunn and Dragic are a couple of huge injuries for the Heat. You know who is in for the Clippers game, so it's just something to keep an eye out on. I shouldn't even have to retweet these injuries. Y'all should be on this before I am. It ain't hard. You know what I'm saying? Just go follow right people on Twitter, beat writers, all this stuff, man. And hopefully the Hawks don't get their ass bust today, man. They just won without Trae Young. Hopefully they don't come out here with a dud. OKC come back to the house after a couple, you know what I'm saying, real good wins back at the house. Hopefully they, you know what I'm saying, had to go see that girl, whatever, drop them off real quick, you know what I'm saying, and just win this game by 7-8 points. I like the Hawks today. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. I already knew Trae Young's gonna be in. If you could have got that +11, see even more points. Hopefully Steven Adams sit out as well, man, and we hit the Hawks today, man. We're just finna go to these books and try to let Jay all these motherfuckers. We got to get out of here. Let Jay, Los bookmakers. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow, man, and go to SBR.com. Hit the tab. We'll holler at y'all tomorrow.